Hello, 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 hello. I diddly die. Okay, well, since this will get saved anyway to my live list. Hello. It took me longer to get the silly bloomin' thing to work. So it's just you. Oh, it's the three of you. Hello. Right. Have you all thought up some questions? So let us just start off with that. After the test one, I said I was going to be doing yesterday a lot of live, doing some processing that lot of some of the videos and loading them up onto YouTube for scheduling for how long. Well, I have done that. I did a lot of work yesterday and I tired myself out and I was in bed soon. So I am now up to video 170 is being uploaded and scheduled. So we have all the videos for the rest of this month already scheduled for showing. And we actually go into next month, which is just as well, as I may not get to the caravan until September. So I've got to make what videos I have last till into that before I'm going to probably get any more new stuff, unless I can do some more here. But yeah, there's now, we're at number 170 and I think we're only currently 158 or 159. So yeah, it was very tiring. I still probably have another 2 days worth of processing to do on videos, which will be technically for the rest of August and going into September. So we'll now go to your questions now. How's my day been? Well, my day has been the same as my birthday for my daughter. That's how my day has been. This morning I woke up and Daniela's mother decided she was going to church, even though she told me she wasn't going to go to church, but she decided to go to church because the vicar's been turned up at the house because she hadn't been for 3 weeks and twisted her arm to go to church. So I had to pick up my daughter, then go and pick her up from church, and then we went for breakfast at Witherspoons. Only the best place for breakfast I pick it, Witherspoons. And she had the freedom breakfast and some water. She didn't want any juice. And we had the muffin breakfasts, which with a drink are in our Witherspoons £2.79, everywhere else £2.99. So what I did was, since we were going to be Mars and she was going to be doing cake and drinks anyway, we're going, do we really want to have 3 or 4 cups of coffee and hot chocolate? So what I did was that I had my breakfast muffin and I added a drink to it. But the drink I added to it was the Monster drinks, which are more expensive. So I did that with both of our meals. And then we just both got like cordials, which are 40 pence. So it means that I got technically two energy drinks, which was one the peachy and one the mango, which I have for some other time. So yep, then we went to me Mars, and my sister had all our presents there that she got her, and a balloon and a cake. My sister's far better at buying piles of stuff because she has 2 jobs. I physically now cut down how much clothes I buy because I have quite a lot of them now. I have rather a lot of them, yeah. So, but I still work on I will go to the charity shop, but I will only buy a dress if it's £1 or £2. I won't take some of these charity shops which have dresses at 5, 7, 9. I even seen one in a charity shop which was like £25. Because the thing comes is that I can just go on to Temu, and this came off Temu, so it's fairly long. And this was like £3, but then it's brand spanking new. My favorite dresses would probably be a red one. I have a few red dresses. I have the dresses that I would go out, a dress that I would go out on a date wearing, because it's long sleeve velvet, but then I have a short sleeve velvet which is very short. And then I have a bit sparkly dress with see-through arms, which is also red. I have ones which I will wear more than others, and it doesn't guarantee it's my favorite because it depends on what I'm doing and what I'm wearing it for. Yeah, so for a date, the velvet. All of my dates started off with me wearing the red long sleeve velvet one because it was fairly tight to my body, and it stopped about 3 inches above my knee. So so I was immensely nice to touch. And everyone liked that dress, so after a couple of days I just wore that dress because it was warm, because if it was cold, and my arms get cold anyway, so I would have to wear a jumper if I didn't wear long sleeve, or it has to be immensely warm. So yeah, the red velvet one is my biggest dress that I wear. So I think you've probably seen my red dress anyway, because I have worn it before. That's a sparkly one. Oh, get back into the camera a bit. That's a sparkly one. But that one is a quiz dress from the thingy. It's like a shop, because I don't know if everyone knows. Quiz is a dress design shop, and I got that in a charity shop, and it was like £3, but it's really heavy and it's covered in sparkles, and I found out how much it was, or near enough that it was technically like a £90 dress when it was in the quiz shop. So yeah, not so. So the thing comes is that a dress that I will spend a few pound on has to be something special, but I'm still not going to go overboard. I have lots of pictures. Can you imagine how many pictures I take? Because I don't take them because I'm vain. I take them because they go onto TikTok, or people ask me on Zangi, what am I wearing today? So I have to take a picture of what I am wearing so they can see. And since normally more than one person asks me for a picture, then I take one picture and then just send it to whoever asks for a picture. It also works when I take a picture and I'm home and I'm not dressed or I haven't gone out. then I will. Don't I have one with a red dress on? That's the velvet one. The short one. The problem comes with my short velvet dress is that when I have my bag over my shoulder, the bag starts lifting the dress up because it gets caught on the walk, and sort of the dress climbs up the bag. So that's not good, and it is good depending on who you are with. I have so many pictures of food. So yeah, that's the short sea velvet one. So that's on TikTok. So there's a few of my dresses are on TikTok. Come on, don't be afraid to ask questions. That's this dress. I could get hungry because I've only had breakfast the day and nothing else. Three days later. So yeah, now there's 10 of you. I'm sure you must have some question you can ask. Don't know why I keep that. I did that. I kept them pictures for a video, and I didn't make it. Because that's quite a good dress. But then it's hard to show dresses on here, because I don't know if you get a good enough picture of it. I'm only showing my legs. I have no stockings on either. So yeah. The thing comes is that I found it difficult to go out without any stockings or tights or whatever, because it takes so much to get rid of every single hair off your legs, and it takes a while, and I'm not always that patient. But I've been doing better. So I've actually been out twice with no stockings or anything on my legs. So I tell you, I do have a lot of blood pictures on here. Some of them you can't see. Some of them are food. You know, they're pictures of when I've gone into any of the places where I've had food. No, I haven't been on any dates for well over 2 months. My eye's been bad for 2 months, and I've had no dates for that. So I think it's probably more like 3. I still have pictures on here, and pictures of when the Scottish one took me out. That was the flowers he gave us. But I don't seem to see him anymore, even when I go to Scotland. So I told him I was up there, and there's my red dress. And don't forget, this is from last year. I've lost weight since then. Try not to get the light on it. So yeah, yeah, I need someone who wants to spend time. They don't have to spend time every single day. They just have to see me, and spend a couple of days with me, but it's like impossible. Everyone seems to be an idiot. Can't help it, they're all an idiot. Yeah. It seems it's much harder for me to find someone than it is for other people to find someone. And even if I was dressed like a boy, I still wouldn't get anywhere. I'm not big, strong, and with piles of money, so people aren't interested in someone who's caring. Right, next question. So yep, I got to video 170 on my listing, which is I did a hell of a lot of work yesterday, and luckily they all went up fairly quickly onto the site. They're not, some of them aren't short, some of them are about 13-14 minutes long, so that my videos aren't short because I've got too big a gob and I keep talking. So I think there may be a very few that are short, but there'll be a reason why. But yeah. More questions. I had more people on the last live, and that was an accident. So yeah. Yeah, the thing comes is that even in my analytics, most people tune out after about 1.5 to 2 minutes. So I don't know how many people actually watch my videos all the way to the end. We have a few more. The problem comes is that right now, at the end of this week, my sister's taking me ma away for the weekend. Then she's back for just a couple of weeks. And then she's away for a proper 2-week, 17-day holiday, where she was going to take Daniela with her. But because Daniela wants to be around for her exams, then she's not going. So I can't get up to Scotland because there isn't a lot of time in between that. So I have to wait till she comes back before I can even think about going up. So I might not get up until September, which is completely out of where I would normally be. I would normally have technically have been at the caravan before now again, which does mess up my filming schedule. So it isn't easy to do a pile of videos when I'm at home because I don't normally go anywhere, which is interesting. Although there is a couple that I've done from home when I was out. I'd been to a new pub and therefore had a special offer on, so I thought I'd give it a go and see what it was like. But the problem with that one, well, that's probably not going to come till September, but the problem with it is that I'm going to have to do a voiceover of the whole thing because there was music playing in the background. So it's more work. But it was a nice place. Price-wise, I wouldn't have paid the full price for it, what it was supposed to be, but on the reduced price, then it was fine for that price. So yeah, Scotland is a bit hard. I definitely would have been up already, if not virtually now anyway. But with my eye being bad when I came back, I was technically just holding off. And normally my sister doesn't book a weekend away like now. So it's normally that I would have this time anyway, but I don't have it. So my time in Scotland is being cut. So I try to get up in September. Then I will be up for probably Halloween. Come back because seemingly someone wants to come with me up to the caravan. So I'm going to have to bring them back, then go back up to the caravan to close it down. But I don't have a lot of time. But when I go back up, I have to accumulate enough videos to pass me up to March next year. After when I go back up, or I won't have anything to put out. So yeah, it's easier to do food ones there. There's a little more space for me for cooking there, because my kitchen has every bloody gadget there is, and there's no space for anything. So yeah, anything else? Come on then, chop chop. You must have something you want to ask. And no, I didn't go out dressed like this today. I wanted to, but then I was told I had to come into my ma's, so I couldn't. It depends on. I have two types of day in Newcastle. I have a day when I can dress, and I have a day when I can't dress because I'm doing stuff which stops me from doing it. Like Fridays, I can't dress because I go out with my sister for dinner, and she takes us to dinner on Friday, which she won't be doing this week. No, next week. No, this week. This week, because she's going away. But so therefore this Friday I probably will get dressed, but then I've got to now find something for me dinner because I won't be going out for it. Thursday I would have been dressed, but right now she's waiting for a parcel to be delivered, and I have to be there for it to be delivered, because somebody has to be there for it to be delivered. So I've got to go around on the day. So there's another day I can't dress or go out. So yeah. Tomorrow's Monday. I'm hoping I might go out. I haven't decided where. Tuesday, I'm likely going to go to Taco Bell because they have the Taco Tuesday, which is technically buy one taco, you get one free, but it's like on their taco menu, and you go to the individual tacos, you go right down at the bottom of the page and it says Taco Tuesday. It doesn't always. I did bring it up with them that offer didn't turn up on my app when I looked, and I thought they weren't doing it. And the manager says, no, we're doing it. He's going, it doesn't turn up. I'm going, no, it doesn't turn up at all. I've never seen the Taco Tuesday on my app. So he's going to flag that up with Taco Tech. The thing comes is that when the last time I went to Taco Bell, like on Tuesday. I had to go really soon because I had to drop my daughter off at a taster day for Newcastle College that she's going to go to. So I was virtually the first person through the door when they opened it. So the manager was there and I talked to the manager. I was dressed, fully dressed, completely dressed. And we had a talk about Taco Bell advertising things about how the customers are seeing things that he's not seeing. So I know things about Taco Bell that people don't really know about Taco Bell in the UK. They're going to get some new items on their menu. Taco Bell Newcastle is closing in 2 weeks' time, or now a week and a bit, because they're going to be renovated in Newcastle. So they're going to be closed. They're opening more stores around. They're bringing out just more tech and stuff and that lot. We don't have a Wimpy up in Newcastle, and I seen a video for a Wimpy. We used to have a Wimpy up in Newcastle a long time ago, and I think we only went to it once because it was, even back then, it was fairly expensive as a takeaway place. So we never really got into Wimpy. The adverts I've seen about Wimpy, they have some special offers which I would be interested in having, but they don't have one up here. We have far too many Starbucks and Costas and these stupid coffee chains where you pay an arm and a leg just to get a cup of coffee that technically costs them probably 20p. So we could do with less coffee shops and more different food places. I'm quite happy to have different food places as long as they do some special offer at some time. Have I put up the KFC one that I did? Yep, that is the best deal. £1.19 is the lowest price Witherspoon hot drink, which is unlimited. They're full price, and you can tell a cheap Witherspoons from an expensive Witherspoons solely on the cost of the hot drink. If the hot drink is £1.19, they might have some cheap items on their menu, more likely. If they're £1.79, they're not likely to have cheap stuff on their menu or offer any special offers. So therefore, hot drinks at £1.19 for me is now technically Greenock and Ayr in Scotland. They're the only two Witherspoons that do £1.19. And of course, Greenock does on the days a special offer meal, whatever it is. And if you've looked at my videos, you've seen what those special offers are. The ham and eggs for £2.79. The burger and drink. How much was that? £3 something. By the time you minus the drink off, because I never get a hot drink if I'm buying the meal deals, unless I really want to drink a lot. I will go for the energy drinks and get the Monster Mango. It used to be the Monster Peachy, but they don't seem to have that on. But the Monster Peach. Now they have Monster Strawberry. Because if you look on their menu of how much those drinks sell in Witherspoons, they're £2.52. So I always go for the most expensive drink. Whether I drink it or not, even if I buy a cordial, which is 40p in Witherspoons, I will buy that and drink that rather than the can, unless I want to drink a lot of drink. And I need to drink a lot of drink because whatever I'm eating is very needing of it, or I've got plenty of time. So yeah, well, that was long-winded for is Witherspoons the cheapest? Yeah, it is. And even if you have a place that does a drink for 99p, it is a single drink. I would also like to say that Witherspoons is the best deal for breakfast as well. Their muffin breakfast with the drink and you can get the monster drink, is £2.79 in the cheapest, which is Biker here in Newcastle. They do it for £2.79. Standard price on all the Witherspoons is £2.99. So, yep, that is the cheapest breakfast, and that technically wipes the floor with McDonald's. And that's why McDonald's came out. The McDonald's in the town have come out with a deal for £2.99 for a drink. For a drink and a muffin. It doesn't seem to be in any other McDonald's other than in the town. And because they've come up with that, I went around the corner when I was in the town and I noticed Greg's had come out with exactly the same thing. £2.99 for a drink and one of their like bread buns with bacon in or whatever for £2.99, just because McDonald's has done it. But yep, £2.99 is the best deal for a breakfast. For the muffin thing, the muffin, if you ask for the breakfast muffin, that gives you the muffin, slice of cheese, which of course is the 6p slice of cheese, which you get in McDonald's anyway. Bacon, one slice of bacon, one egg, one sausage, and your drink. And if you take it, the sausage is cut in half and then it's opened out and in flat, so it doesn't roll out everything. So that is the cheapest for that. If you knock off and just go, well, I don't want bacon in, you can get it 20p cheaper. Yeah, I do Witherspoon still do the wrap at £2.99 because I've noticed that the menu has took off the cheap wraps that they used to do, and now they only have on the menu the expensive £6 wrap, which has got more in, but I'm not going to pay £6 for it, even with a drink, because that would take it down to like £4 for it. I'm not sure, because the last time on the menu, I don't think it's on. When I looked, it might sneak in somewhere. Stop bringing that up. I hate. They might still have it on a separate. They do a breakfast wrap, but I don't think it might be at the cheap price. I don't think really technically puddings in places are far too expensive. So I don't normally get a pudding with any of my meals. Because even if you have a meal and they say the pudding's £3, a lot of the puddings is still, even at half the price of what they would be, are still not worth the price. I'd rather go into Aldi and get a sticky toffee cake for £2.50 if it's still that price, because it's a long time since I've had them. See, so Witherspoons in Biker are doing specials. Oh, you're definitely not going to see that. It's too bright. Fish and chips for £6.14 with an alcohol drink, £7.67. And that was for a small. For a standard fish and chips, it's £8.38 with a drink, £9.91. You really have to be careful with some of the things. But Witherspoon's Biker, oh, that's too bright for you. Witherspoon's Biker have a special on today for the fish and chips, and it's not even Friday. The last time I had fish and chips on a special, it was a Greenock, and I'm sure it was on a Friday. So yeah. So the weird thing comes is that Witherspoons do any three, and it's normally £14.99. Now, Witherspoons and Biker do those three things for £10 every single day of the week. So, and I think that's really good value, because that's only £3.33. They're the proper size thing. But the thing comes. So but on Mondays, I think it's Mondays. Yes, I'm sure it's Mondays. they have a special menu. You remember when they always have the special menu when they used to bring the steak out, and on a certain day, like Tuesday, it would be a cheaper price. Well, they've got that special, the 3 items. It's supposed to be small plates, but the items that are, if you look in the menu of what the items of that small plate are, some of them are not small plate. There's like 10 chicken wings for it. There's an 8-inch pizza. There's a number of 8-inch pizzas. You can get chips, but if you looked further down the list from the chips, you can get dirty fries with whatever, I can't remember what they put on, bacon and stuff and cheese and stuff. You can get that in the deal for the price. And I think that's really good because it isn't a little amount. And as I said, I went down on a Monday and I was in Witherspoon in Wallsend because, as I said, the breakfasts are nearly the same in all of them. And the 3 plates, I was worried about the 3 plates because I'm going, are these really tiny little things like snack things, like what you would get as a starter? And I had never seen anyone really get it. And so I could see what they got and how big they looked. And I was at my table and I had my breakfast and I was drinking my juices. I got 2 cordials because that was 80p. And the 2 women at the table, when they arrived, got that deal at the £10 price. And I told them that Witherspoons and Biker do that offer every single day of the week, instead of just waiting for a Monday if they wanted to have it any other day. Because paying 15 quid for it is a bit different than paying 10. So, and when it came out, the pizza looked handmade. It wasn't like a pizza off the shelf with nice round circular edges. It looked like it was handmade with the stuff put on it, which was a little unusual because it looked more like, the misshaped oval ones that Aldi do on the shelf. It looked a bit like that. And they got a pizza each, which they halved each of their pizzas and swapped. So they had half of each pizza, and they got some of the wings and that lot. And they had that, and when they finished, I asked them, how was it? And they were both happy with how it was. So if you want that £10 deal for the 3 items, I think it's a really good. If you're taking someone with you, it's a really good offer. You both could have a pizza each and maybe get some fries and just share them, because they're not a small amount. But for £10, you have to buy a drink on top of it. So that's why I'm saying, if you want to go for the cheapest drink, the cordial ones are 40p. They do orange, lime, and blackcurrant. You can have water in, or you can have soda in, depending on which you prefer. Yeah, well, they're 40p. Just get the small glass, which is 398 milliliters, and not the pint glass, because I don't think a pint glass holds 800 milliliters, does it? So just get the small one, because the small one's got quite a bit in. Plus, you're more likely, if you buy 2 small ones, to get more of the cordial in it than just buying a big one. And it depends on who's making it. Will depend on how much you get. Because I've had one where it's had a lot in and it's been really strong, and I've been to other places and they didn't put too much in at all. So the cordial is the cheapest drink to get if you don't have a drink that comes with your meal. If you have a drink that comes with your meal and you're going for an alcoholic drink, you really need to look at buying an alcoholic drink with a value of greater than £4. Don't just go for the cheap alcoholic drink. If it's in with your meal deal drink and food, go for a dear, expensive drink. I say this on the grounds that if you're getting and paying £6 for that wrap with a soft drink, then the soft drink I would pick would be the most expensive soft drink, which is £2.52 for the Monster drink. I think they also do like the pure orange things, and it's about that price as well. So that means the soft drink value is £2.52. When you buy the alcohol, you're paying about £1.50 more than the soft drink one. So therefore, you want to buy the most expensive soft drink plus the £1.50 that you're paying extra. That gives you just over £4. So therefore, buy a drink, an alcoholic drink that is bigger than £4 to make your value. If you're all you're going to do is just go and buy one of their 99 pence pints, there isn't any worth. You might as well just get a soft drink and buy the pint, because you will be worse off money wise, because the cheapest drink that Witherspoons do is £1. Mind, I have been told it tastes like cat pee. I did ask the person how they knew what cat pee tasted like, and I didn't get an answer back. So I can't help you on that matter. But if you have any idea what cat pee tastes like, then you have an idea what the cheapest pint in Witherspoons tastes like. But if you're already complete and utterly legless, I don't think you can tell the difference taste-wise. So, yeah, what was I looking for? Oh, yeah. You can get a wrap without a drink. Just looking at it. You can get a wrap without a drink, but it's £4.82, which means that a wrap with a drink is £1.18 more. So therefore, you just need to get a drink that's greater than £1.18, and you might as well just pay the £6. On the app, there is no wraps under £6. So, and there's no pizzas under £6. You can get a panini, which I don't fancy at all, and they're £6. So the thing I don't know is that I've had the small version of the wraps. I don't know how many chicken bits you get in the larger version. Hello. So I can't judge whether spending £6 on the large wrap with a drink is worth it. Because I still don't value my Monster drink at £2.52, because I wouldn't go into a shop and pay £2.52. I have seen Monster drinks in the cheap shops for about £1.20. So I would come down to that price, since that's the price you can buy it at a shop somewhere. And frankly, if all you want is a Monster drink, buy a cordial, empty it, and then put your Monster drink into the glass, because they'll have no idea. The thing comes is that it is a larger wrap, and it will have more in it. The small wrap had two slices of the chicken in it. When I got it, like the shawarma wrap with the chicken thigh, you get slice thing. So you do get more in the bigger one, but I don't know how much more, and I don't know if it's worth how much more that it is. So that technically sort of put me off the wraps now, because I don't really want to spend £6 on a wrap. If I'm going to spend £6 on a wrap, I'd rather go in on a Tuesday and buy their new gourmet burgers, the premier ones that they're doing, because on a Tuesday that is £8.35, and I'd rather pay the £2 extra, because I know how big that meal is. Just to do the gourmet burger things, there's a couple of YouTube people who have done them, and they've liked them a lot. I have seen them. I'm tempted to get one because I know how filling it will be. But now they've put it on the special deal, and it's going to be cheaper. Then I might, because £8.35 is somewhere nowhere near. And the cheapest Witherspoons, it is £9.65. And the dearest Witherspoons, which I have found, which is logs, it was £11.60. And I'm certainly not paying £11.60 for burger fries. The gourmet burger does come with 6 onion rings. You have to take that into account. 6 onion rings are in Witherspoons about £2 extra. So if you allow for them, and the gourmet burgers, just to put it in better, the burgers within the gourmet burgers are different burgers to what Wetherspoons have ever had or using anything else. They are 6-ounce burgers. They are big 6-ounce burgers from what the description says. So these, I think the Premier Burger on a special on a Tuesday is far better than paying what you pay in McDonald's or Burger King, because Burger King have copied McDonald's with their Big Archie Burger, or Big Archer's Burger, whatever. But I renamed it. So therefore, I'd rather go to Wetherspoons because you get the drink and the fries, and you get the onion rings. In where McDonald's, you just get the burger. So value-wise, Wetherspoons wins, and I haven't never had really a problem with Wetherspoons burgers. They've been fine. Even the chips that Wetherspoons use are McCain's, and I don't think you should really complain about McCain's in Wetherspoons, because McCain's keeps saying they are the #1 UK chip, and they make thousands and thousands and thousands of them. So you can't complain about that. So yeah, they're not homemade, but who makes homemade chips in most restaurants nowadays? Other than Five Guys, but then they're charging you a bloody fortune for them. Are we going to stay in Wetherspoons, or do we want any other? Are we going to talk about something else? I definitely don't think there's as many of us here as what there was when I came on. Yeah. So technically, when I look for food and when I pick food on how much you get for how much it is. And as long as I like it, then that's fine. So when I go to Taco Bell, there is only a few things I will get. If it's Taco Bell and it's Tuesday, then I'll get the two tacos, which are £2.50. Then I really want a drink in a thing. They have, which is another thing that they've got hidden, is that they have a burrito, chips, and a drink for £3.99, which I have complained a number of times to the manager that this should be getting pushed forward. And I put those two together, and one burrito and 2 tacos and a portion of chips is more than filling for me, and I don't need anything else until nighttime. I could go into McDonald's and have a couple of burgers and I'll be hungry in an hour, but after having them tacos and that it has taken me time to eat them, then I am more full after having it. The other thing that I would pick in taco for a meal would be the combo 1, because that is a drink, fries, and 2 tacos. That I am very put off with buying things which are just like a single item, like one of the burritos that they have on offer, and heading up to about 10 quid. Because one, I don't know how much volume of item is in it, so therefore I don't go near things I don't know. Hello, it's nice to have someone. Go and tell your friends to come over. So yeah, I'm very cautious on what I get. I will get something if it's a special offer and try it out. And as I said, I went to Taco Bell on Tuesday gone, and I was talking to the manager, and I was telling them how I'm too nervous about trying other things that are on the taco menu, because they're quite a bit of money for me to spend to try them and see if I even like them. And I said, it's a bit like your new chicken and nacho, because I'm not really big in nachos. I don't like nachos unless you can cover them in sauce or make them not taste like cardboard. I can't go and buy a pack of nachos and just eat them as crisps, because to me they have no flavor and they have a funny texture to them. They do sometimes break up a nacho and put it into one of the burritos, and I've had that, And I know it's a nacho, but it has the sauce and everything around it, so it doesn't taste the same. So yeah, that's it. Yes, my sister takes me out to dinner. It's normally on a Friday, and this Friday we took Daniela because my sister said, "Well, we'll take my daughter with us." So we took her. So to get the 2 meals for £12.50 that the Hungry Horse that we go to does, we had to buy 4 meals. Hey, I'm in there. So technically I had fish and chips on the Friday. Yeah. I much prefer, it's like I can't eat spaghetti without a sauce on it. I can't eat noodles without some flavouring on it. Because I just don't need. So yeah, we had got 4 meals in Hungry Horse, which were the £12.50 for 2 meals. And technically speaking, 2 meals for £12.50 is bang on. And we have never had any problem at our places that we go. We only go to one of 2 places. And we think our second choice that I went to first, and I said, we should really come here over the place that we normally go to. Because I said, I am sure the portions are a little bit bigger. So therefore, we then started going to where I said, and she agreed with me that the portions were bigger. And the staff, it's technically the staff were a little more cheerful. So we normally do. So I ordered fish and chips. My daughter got scampi and chips. My sister buys exactly the same thing no matter when she goes and where she goes, which is the chicken New Yorker, because it's the only thing she likes. So even if we went out on a day after, she would still have the same thing. So our 4th meal, which I got, was they do a steak pie. And I'm not kidding, the steak pie is big. It is immensely filling. And I got it with mashed potatoes other than chips, because the mashed potato is actually mashed potato. It's the powdered mashed potato. And they do peas and gravy. So I took a container with us because I had an idea we were doing that. And I brought the whole of that meal back home, and I had it yesterday while I was doing all the videos that I've put up on my channel so far. So if you look at my count, my number count, I have put up yesterday up to video 170 now, which takes us into next month. So there is 2 videos every week up to next month. I spent the whole day editing videos, which technically tired me out. I was in bed at 7 o'clock. I couldn't keep my eyes open, and my eye was a little sore from after. It technically wasn't that I was looking at the screen a lot, because when you finish the thing, it has to process. And when I'm downloading it onto YouTube, I have to do something else. So it wasn't like I was constantly staring at the screen. And I had to use the big television screen to do it, because I can't read the writing on the small one. So that's why I'm looking up here again, because you're on the big screen. And ages ago, before lockdown, I got a 65-inch television, and I got it at a reduced price because it's actually faulty. But it's only faulty if your screen is totally white, because then you see the lights behind the screen. They show like the white light in circles. So as long as the screen's not showing white, there's nothing wrong with the telly. And there's nothing wrong with the telly. So everything I have is currently in dark mode, because I can't bloody well see the light mode. It's too bright for my eye and hurts. So, yep. Are we going to stick to food? So, yep, Hungry Horse, Brewers Fayre do about the same thing. Theirs come in about £13 for 2 meals. So that's another option. I don't find, if you look at the size of the portion for how much you're paying for it, and of course, different Hungry Horses, different Brewers Fayre, different Witherspoons, all of these are different. simply on the grounds that they have a different chef in the kitchen. And if you go to a Witherspoons and it's shit, then find a different Witherspoons, because not all of them are equal. Some have better people who know how to cook better than others, or somebody's just trying to cut a corner and they've got a cheap person who knows how to shove it in the microwave and it doesn't cook properly. Yeah, so wow, that's my thing. Okay, ask another question. We've nearly done an hour. I had more people on my accidental stream than I have on my actual stream. So yeah, talking about food is maddening, probably because I haven't had tea now, so I'm talking about food, and all I've had is a muffin for breakfast at 11 o'clock, and it's 6 o'clock now, and I haven't eaten anything else since. I'm not surprised I lose weight. I still don't think I'm anywhere near eating 2,000 calories. I actually have, which might end up on a video, I got a special discount off a Wiltshire Farm Foods, and I have one of their meals. So, and I think I got out, it's like, is it a curry that I've got or an Indian? It's something like that. But I thought I'd give them a go because my sister had give them a go. And what I'd got is 4 meals and 3 puddings. So I'm trying to have at least something. If I've got to suffer and not go to the caravan, then and the thing comes is that if I'm having them and they're filling, I don't eat anything else. So it sort of means that I'm not spending money anywhere else. Did you roll out the pizza dough? Because you can get pre-rolled pizza dough, which you can just cut. Or you can just buy, if you buy a stotty and cut it in half, that can be the base of a pizza. I actually do have I have a couple of more reviews ones coming up. My cooking ones, I was going to do some when I went up to the caravan last bit, but because my eye was so bad, I physically just couldn't do it. I was in far too much pain and I couldn't stand the light I need to have to physically cook. So I couldn't do any more cooking things. I have done, I'm sure I've done 1 or 2, but not a lot. But I have a couple of reviews of things. So yeah, I'm hoping that when I get back up, if it is September, that I will do a few more. If my eye is completely stopped messing me about, I'll do a few more cooking ones to go over winter. I had a whole idea of that I wrote down for what I was going to do, and I don't know where that piece of paper went. But as you say that, as I keep saying that, none of my videos like this live is scripted in any way. I don't write out what I'm going to say at any point. You get the mistakes, you get everything. If it goes completely pear-shaped, then that's how it goes. So I don't mess around with doing anything. I don't try to retake a shot if it doesn't look quite right, because nothing in life is perfect. So my videos and how I make, so technically when I made the stir fry, that was my tea and I did eat it all, and the flavor I got was the flavor I got. So yeah, I knew what I was putting in it, and it's much easier to have it all chopped, because once you have the wok heated and it's ready to cook, you do need all your stuff prepared to put in it. So you can't just go from, I need to now chop this up and put it in, because you cannot take your eyes off a wok when you're cooking. You should be there holding its handle and stirring it and moving it around so it doesn't burn. So yeah, My next live will probably be I'll probably stick to try to do Sundays at 5 o'clock, so we can try to get more known on for that time. One, because 5 o'clock is easier, and especially for Sunday, because Sundays, if I'm even up at the caravan on Sundays at 5 o'clock, even if I've been out, I'm easily back by 5 o'clock. So therefore I can set up and do it from the caravan, as long as my internet plays ball with us, which I've never really had problems with the internet. It's always been fast enough and able to stream movies and stuff, so I haven't really had a problem that way. Also, sticking to about 5 o'clock does mean that if I'm if I said, if my ma says, come for Sunday dinner, then I'll be back. And as I was at my ma's today, then I'm back. And I need to get ready. So I got ready just for you, because I wasn't dressed like this earlier. So I've just got my... So yeah, I'm going to try to stick to about the same time, then you have some. So yeah, this is a Team U dress. Let's see if we can show you a bit more of the dress. That's better with this. Actually, yeah, a little more. Yeah, so this is the dress that I have on. And I don't have any stockings on, as I wasn't going out. And my legs are actually quite smooth at the minute, which is far too much work to keep on it. But then again, this week I went out twice and I didn't wear any stockings or tights or anything. I went out with my legs the way they are. So as I keep saying, it is all about fitting in more. It's all about if you dress more like how everybody else is dressing, then you don't stand out. So therefore, there is no reason to have any complaints and arguments about anything. As soon as you don't stand out and you make yourself look like a complete drag queen, then more people will probably say something. So, yep, I think you have 2 videos scheduled for this week, Monday or Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. It's one of those combinations. I just like confusing you, so I'm not sticking to the same days. I just also think that if I do a part 1 and a part 2 of a video, then you won't wait long for the part 2. Even if I have to put them both together one day and one the next, then I'll do that, rather than putting a whole pile of distance between them. If there's 3, then you'll get all 3 on the same week, for the same reason. So you don't have to remember what happened in part 1 and 2. Do I have any other like that? I have ones where I've been places, which that it still has to be processed, but I have one where there is about 2 parts to it, because it was made at a place, and that I don't think I processed that yet. But my KFC was in 3 parts, I think, that I had to put together. It's murder trying to remember. Actually, it's murder trying to get them off the phone and onto the computer. That's a fun bit for stuff, because sometimes the phone doesn't like talking to the computer and showing what the videos are. But I've pulled off every single video is now sitting on my hard drive, so I'm in big trouble. So hello to the new person who arrived, or the same person who came back, because I noticed the number went up. I haven't had many people on here, but then I don't think anyone knows. I don't know if I can stick up a longer preview for timing to say that I'll be back. I'll be on again. I'm not up to the live bits on here for showing stuff about saying, I will be on. Yeah, we are live. Look, ow. So yeah, showing my legs live. Well, I'm live. You're not. You're just watching. That's live. I've been on an hour and 5 minutes. If you have any questions, we have talk about Witherspoons and food. If you miss all of that, since we've gone past an hour, just to say that my channel has now got video 170 now scheduled. I have videos twice a week up to, like, I think it's about the 11th of August at the minute, but I still have some more to produce. But I spent all day yesterday doing that. So you have every single video that you're not going to miss a week of me not having something already up, which does take a lot of strain off me. Then it means that if I want to do a video, I'm not rushed to doing something that's I have to, which therefore may turn up being completely and utterly silly that I'm just doing a video for video's sake. So yeah, you know, the videos up to, I think, August or still my April ones, because I did quite a few. After August, we start getting into the June time. I went up with one review of McDonald's coming. That was in May that I went. So yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely boring, and ask a question if you want to ask any questions. The thing comes that when I did Bigo Live, I would have, mind, I'm not kidding. At one point I had 2,600 people on the stream, and my messages were doing that on the phone because people were just sending stuff. And I had a moderator who would kick off anyone who was nasty, except for one person who came on who was trying to be nasty, and I said, no, don't kick him off. Leave him. Let him have his little say, thinking he's trying to upset me, which is physically impossible to do. And I just tore him apart, and we were sort of having more fun with him than he could ever possibly have with anyone else, and so he stopped talking. But then he came onto a number of other of my lives, and he would say exactly the same first line every single time on every single video the live that I would do, and he would say exactly the same thing in every single one. I'm going, hello, and then he would just not say a word after that. So yeah, it's always weird. TikTok is even worse for people. If you want a troll, you go onto TikTok and do a live. Because the two TikToks I did lives were actually when I was away in the caravan, which is always the best place. And I had so many trolls and so many people who hated that they were putting so many nasty comments that TikTok themselves censored them and blocked them from even talking. It was that bit, you know. And I would have one or two people asking genuine questions, and I would be speaking. Yeah, well, I'm not taking any notice of those, so we'll go back to talking about natural, you know, the real nice things. So, if no one wants to ask me a question, I'll finish sooner and go and have my tea. Because, as I said, I've only had a muffin for breakfast, and that was at 11 o'clock, and I haven't eaten anything else since. So, shows that I eat a lot of food, doesn't it, in a day? And yesterday, all I had was the pie, mashed potatoes, and I don't seem to have any boyfriends right now. I have two other cross-dressers I talk to, but I don't have anyone who will come and cuddle me or take me out for dinner. there is far too many people who are just out for one thing and then move on to the next person. So right now I don't have anyone, and it's because one, I can't be bothered to now look. I've had 2 months of having my eye infection on both eyes, and having that pain doesn't really want me to go out. I am bi, so therefore I will go out with women, but I have been out with men for dinner. So, but no women want to go out with us for dinner, and plus I'm poor and I can't really afford to go out to any places that expensive and stuff like that. So, hello, Chester. Why do I know someone from around the Chester area? So yeah, I have sort of not even bothered looking or took much notice, because most of them will tell you one thing and then just do completely the opposite, you know. If you go back and start from video one and work, then there is a few videos. They don't always get lots of views, but or they didn't used to get lots of views. But I like doing the cooking ones. It's just that a lot of my meals repeat themselves, simply because a lot of my meals are set on budget. So like the steak one, if I do another one, it's going to be very similar, because I do my steaks the same way, and I buy a lot of the same things because of the price of that they are. So it's very hard to do more videos, because I would have to buy whatever I'm buying to make the item. Oh yeah, that is, yeah. I did do a couple of videos with cooking. I just remembered that, because I was thinking about different things from, yeah. I did one where I took a base item and then added stuff to it to make it a proper meal rather than a snacky more item. What type of DIY? Because I do think that in a short skirt that it's very bad on the knees, bending down to. But yeah, what was the last thing I did? Oh yeah, the last thing I did was my ex's living room floor, kitchen floor, and putting a wood floor down, which didn't take as long as I thought, and I knew it wasn't going to take as long, because there wasn't as much thing. But the thing comes is that I calculated how much wood I need, how many packs of wood I needed, based on them saying you need to have some spare because of offcuts and wastage and that lot. And at the end of doing all of the wood, I had 2 packs left, which I promptly took back to the shop and got the money back for. So their wastage was probably just over a pack of wood, and it wasn't all that cheap. I think it was about 20 quid a pack. So yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, there is another discount thing where actually there's 2. There's I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what future videos are, because one, even if I tell you now, by the time it shows up, it is so far along the list. And we've now got 100, since some of you are now new. I have 170 videos now on my channel. And some years ago, no, you haven't. You've got 158 or 159. I meant to have a look before I came on. The rest of them are scheduled for the rest of this month up till I think it's the 11th of August. And this is all the work I did yesterday. I spent the whole day. I did nothing else but process videos and upload them onto YouTube, and at the same time, because waiting for YouTube to upload wasn't too bad yesterday. Must have been a quiet day. So yeah, I managed to get quite a few videos up. I think about 11, isn't it? So, yep, there's 2 videos every day, well, every week from now until the 11th of August. Sometimes you have to go at a certain time. Yes, during the day, they will put stuff in there, but some of the prices are still not that far off. What I would say for discounted items, if there is a deal on the item, buying either 2 of them, and this item is dearer than the buying the 2 of them, and this is something you want anyway, I'd just buy the 2 of them, because one, you're having something fresh. Or if you're buying like a sandwich, some of the sandwiches that hit the discount section of the supermarket, they aren't discounted enough. I've seen sandwiches go into the discount section at £1.65 and £1.99. If you go and get the meal deal, which is like £3.50, £3.40, depending on where you are, that's better to do that than it is to buy the sandwich out of the discount section. Because if you pick the right items, my saying is always pick the most expensive. As long as you like it, pick the most expensive item that you like. So technically, and as you see, they always run out of it. It's like a triple sandwich. It will be the most expensive crisps, or at least the crisps that I like, that I haven't had for a long time, and the most expensive drink. Now, the most expensive drink that I normally find in Tesco's is the naked one. And because they're normally like £2 odd for just the little bottle. So my meal deal will be made up of a triple sandwich, a packet of crisps. Normally, they're mostly about the same price of about 75 to 80p a packet for a packet of crisps with 35 grams in, which is disgusting. And one of the naked drinks, one of the flavors, there's more than one. So yeah, you need to be careful on what's on the section which is discounted. If you go too soon, most things aren't discounted enough to make them worth getting. There's sometimes the odd thing that is, but as a whole, it's normally if you wait till 3 o'clock or after, you'll get a better discount because the person will have been around and discounted them again because they need to get them out of the store. And there's nothing wrong with keeping them for a couple of days, even after you've bought them, because the sell-by date and the eat date are both guidelines. And unless it's a yogurt, milky item, fish, then you're normally good for a couple of days after even the use-by date, as long as you're keeping it correctly in a fridge or wherever it asks to be kept. So the films I like, the films I most like are science fiction. So I am into Star Trek. We can prove that one. We can prove we're into Star Trek and Voyager. I've got Star Trek up there. You can be quiet. So yeah, it's sort of that. I like science fiction. And what did I just? Oh yeah, I just watched on stream Mickey 17. People put that down, but then I have never read the book. So if you read the books, it's much harder to judge anything. We're only down to 6 people watching. So I guess we're going to finish sooner the day. It's weird. I have less people watching this week than I did last week, and last week was an accident. So yeah. I've seen Mickey 17. What else did I watch? I watched 2 other movies. Oh yeah, I've seen the John Wick Ballerina. That's very like, it's just very like a John Wick style, but with a girl. And of course, Keanu is in it. He does a couple of scenes like halfway through, but he's actually more in it nearer the end. So he comes and does some fighting in his usual John Wick style. So, yeah, I've seen Ballerina. Well, put this way, if it takes my mind off anything and I watch it from the beginning to the end, then I have no argument with any of the films. So I don't really care. So, yeah, John Wick's was fine. And she's only called Ballerina because she ends up in a ballet school. I'm very good at making up my own words. So my live next week will be again on Sunday at 5 o'clock. I'm going to try to stick lives to Sundays at 5 o'clock. That's as long as I don't have the same problem as I had trying to start this live off, because there was a box that I didn't tick that somehow I found the first time round but didn't remember the second time round. Even though I ticked the box the first time in one page, it needed a second tick on the second page. Don't understand it, but there you go. My nails right now, they're shiny because I have some clear nail varnish on them. My nails just break, so I will never have long nails because they just break with things that I do. And long nails aren't very good for getting your tablets out of their little clicky things. It's very hard to get the silver paper away from them so you can take your tablets. Is there anything left in there? Oh yeah. So yeah, I won't have long nails, but technically I do what I can, and I will file them, and if they start to break, then I'll cut them down to whatever height they are on. But mostly it's just, if you're going to put nail varnish on, put a nail varnish on. My toenails are painted as well, and they're permanently painted because no one can see them. So even when I have to go out, I dress like a boy, I still have painted nails. So, yep. My current week for this week was Monday. I got a voucher with 25% off to go to Toby. So I went to Toby and had a very large meal, which was the only thing I had that day, and it cost $7.50. But I had lots of veg, which is something that I don't get a lot of, is veg. So although you may get one lot of things, I had 3 Yorkshire puddings, and I mean they're big ones, and a whole pile of runner beans, peas, the roast potatoes. They had 2 different types. Then I had peas and carrots and cauliflower. Then I always get the stuffing, and I really like the stuffing. When I get the stuffing, I really like it with applesauce. So if you get the stuffing and you mix a little applesauce, then it's not so dry and thingy, but it seems to bring out. Yes, and once again, it is still always down to the Toby you go to, because some of them just seem to do their Yorkshire puddings better than others, or they've tried to rush it, or something like that. But so I had physically, as a portion size, I had 2 meals when I went to the Toby on Monday. So that was it. I went for about 1 o'clock. Well, actually, I went for 1:30, and then I just came home after, because I'd looked at the shops that were there. There's a farm foods and a thingy beside the. Tuesday, I had to drop my daughter off because she was doing a taster day at Newcastle University College. I don't know which one you want to call it, but she had a taster day, so I had to drop her off. So I stayed in town and just had a look at the shops and got bored stupid because everything's far too expensive. Then I went to Taco Bell and had my Tuesday double taco, buy one, get one free. And then I got the burrito chips and fries, which they do for $3.99. Wednesday, Wednesday, I went to a new pub that I'd seen on Sunday when I went out on Sunday. I won't tell you where I went on Sunday, but I went to Taco Bell again. But I'd walked the quayside and went up into Gateshead and then went across and had Taco Bell and came back out again. And that was a combo one. So yeah, Wednesday was a new pub, and I'm not going to discuss that because I partially did a video in there, but I'm going to have to technically, I didn't talk because I knew I'm going to have to scrap the sound because it has really a lot of music on it, and I wouldn't get away with talking for long enough to be able to hide the music because it was really quite loud. Well, it wasn't loud, but it was just very distinctive. So I'm going to have to cut it and do a voiceover, and I'm going to have to find my microphones and everything and remember how to do a voiceover on a video because that's been a while. So yeah, there's a possible video, but that's not going to be until well into August, September for that. I don't think it's going to turn up. Right now, I have difficulty with dates and videos because I've got to still last till March. What did I do on Thursday? Oh yeah, Thursday I went for breakfast at Witherspoons, and that was about it. Friday I wasn't dressed and I went out with my sister. Saturday I spent all day doing reviews, doing the processing of the videos, and I had my steak pie that I picked up on Saturday with mashed potato and peas. I still have. I use it. I use it all up. I think I only got that because it was in Scotland, and I think the price is like £1.60. The standard plain squirty cream you get in Home Bargains. Is it Home Bargains or I think it's Home Bargains or B&M. They do it for £1, which is cheaper than what it is in Aldi and in all the rest of the places. Whatever you do, don't buy the squirty cream in a supermarket. They're about £2 for just the plain one. And I don't think they even do the chocolate one. I think Aldi or is it Lidl that do the chocolate one. It's one of those two. I never can tell the difference between Aldi and Lidl. It's just the way I am. They both look the same shop when you get in. They both have the same stock on the shelves from the same places. So I don't really notice it, except one of them is more expensive for ice cream and cheese. So yeah, it's very rare I have chocolate squirty cream. That was the first time that I'd had it, that I'd got that, and yeah, it was very nice. It's a lot thicker. The cream feels a lot more denser than the standard squirty cream, but it was a little dearer. But it was a luxury. So yep, that was my week. So yep. So if you after this you go and have a look and see what video I've currently got out. I think there's a video coming out tomorrow. And then look and see what number it is. I've got number 170. And I have to see when I'm going to have time to do. It might be blooming next Saturday. I might end up doing some more of them and getting them up. Because it might be Friday since I'm not going out for dinner. It's not good. Not good. I'm going to starve. I keep saying I'm starving and withering away to nothing. Well, frankly, I've just about stabilized my bloody weight, so that's good. Oh yeah. Them chicken wings, the chicken ribs were the Chinese one were really nice. Well, them were the ones that I got in Saltcoats at the butcher's. I haven't seen anything like them again, not for price and for how much was in them. Well, there's still more videos of me being poorly. They will run into next month, and you'll start seeing a one where you start seeing my eye more, and you can see how red it is, because I even noticed how red it was. At the time, I couldn't see how red my eye was. I physically couldn't look in the mirror because the light was too bright for me to see my eye. So my eye would automatically close. So I physically, even now, I don't go out into the sun without some sunglasses. So I have some reactive ones which are clear and then get darker and darker the brighter the sun is. So, but I'm not as affected right now as much unless it's really sunny. So yeah, it would be nice to find some other places I could eat at that are cheap. It's just so hard to find places that are really cheap. I did notice someone found one in County Durham that was cheap, and I'm going, yeah, but I'm not driving all the way there. So it's very hard to find cheap stuff for me to go and have something which is a bit more filling. The thing comes is that the Greg's pasties, or even the Greg's sausage rolls, if you're going to Iceland, you're paying a fortune for them. Technically, you're paying either equal or a little more than what you would physically pay going into Greg's itself to buy them. And yet you've got to use your own electricity to cook them. That is just a complete and utter waste of time. Even if you don't live near a Greg's, there is probably some point you're going to go beside a Greg's for you just to buy the things fresh. Because unless you're really good at watching what you've put in the oven, it is very easy to overdo the cooking or underdo the cooking, either one of them. And you're paying a lot of money. Really, the Greg's sausage rolls that you get in Iceland, I don't think that for cost-wise, they're £3, about £3.95, aren't they? Well, they're £3.95 fresh for 4 sausage rolls. I think they're £4, and they had some which were even dearer. I think they had a box of 6, which was like £6 odd. And you can go into Aldi and Lidl, and they've got their sausage rolls and their pack of 4 for £1.19. I actually really, really like their sausage rolls. There's only one place that I would get sausage rolls more than I would get the Aldi thingy ones. Well, actually, there's 2. Because I have had the sausage rolls in Home Bargains. They do 5 small ones for £1.19. Those are actually pretty nice. They're not fatty. They're not greasy. They've got a decent amount of sausage meat in them. But the ones that, if I have a choice, then I'd rather have Morrison's sausage rolls than Greg's sausage rolls. And I'd rather have McDonald's, Morrison's pies, because I like the pastry that they have, and you can see the meat in them. The Greg's ones are so thin. Even I can go to an outlet. I can go to a Greg's outlet, but they've put the prices up again, and 2 of their pasties is virtually £2. And I don't see them worth £1 each. It's that bad. So I can go into Aldi or Lidl again. They've got their pasties. They're £1.39. You know, they might have a tiny bit less in them, but I don't really think so. They're the same size, but they're a fraction of the price anyway. So I'd rather just get them, really. So I don't enjoy my walks at home as much as I enjoy my walks in Scotland. And I can say that because I'm in a town. I'm in a big city. There's not as much green places, or I have to drive to get somewhere. And I don't have a simple walk that I can do. If I go away to Scotland, I can go to Troon. And just outside of Troon, if you follow Troon and leave to head to Prestwick, there is a woodland walk. And I did a video, and I'm sitting on the wood chair, and I think I said I'm on the throne. That little park, it doesn't take long to walk around it, but it is surrounded by grass and animals. Here, we do have one, but I'm going to have to drive like 7 miles to get to it. And it's virtually a straight path and a straight path back there, and it has a little circular bit in the middle. It's not the same. The walks aren't the same. So yeah, I could walk along the quayside and keep going because the path goes on for quite some distance. But I'm not seeing anything different, and I'm hearing a lot of the traffic, so it's not as relaxing. So yeah. What else are we going to do now? Next question. So yeah, I really would like to find some other cheap places to eat. Quite a few of the places that may do cheap meals are you need to buy two, and I don't really want to spend 12 or 13 quid, even though I'm going to bring a meal home with us, because then I'm restricting myself to what I can bring home, because not everything is all that nice the next day, or is easy to reheat to a good enough temperature to have it cooked. So yeah, with food, that's very difficult. We're dropping in numbers, so have we had enough? So yeah, this week I've got to be around because my sister has a parcel coming, so that's probably so far Thursday, unless they change the day. Friday I'm not going out for dinner. That's a bummer. I'm going to now find something to have. Tomorrow I haven't decided. Tuesday will probably be taco again. So we'll see what happens during the week. Wednesday I might just go for breakfast. Yeah. Since I've been today, leave a bit of time between. So are we finished asking questions, and am I finished answering questions? Say, I told you I'm not scripted. I'm live. All the mistakes I make, If I show my legs, will more people turn up? Okay, anything else? I've sent them all to sleep. Well, this is a Temu dress. It was about. So it's about. It goes down about 2 inches from my knee. It is fairly well. It is loose, but it is still fairly close. So yep, a lot of my things are Temu. Well, if I can find the kit, this is Temu. I buy far too much from Temu. I haven't actually bought as much recently. I started off really heavy in Temu right at the start, because since I had nothing and Temu turned up, they were doing jewelry items for under £1. All of my tights and stocking things that I have, the fishnets, all of them are from Temu, because I can't buy them any cheaper. Most of them are about £1 a pair, and they last a long time. So there's no problem with quality. I've physically tried testing how long a pair will last, and I got to a month and they were still okay for wearing. So yeah, so a lot of my jewelry that I have is Temu. I have a lot of jewelry. I can now cut down how much I buy in jewelry from Temu and buy maybe nicer jewelry from some charity shops when they have things going for like £2, £3 or £4. And especially if they're really nice, then I'll get them. What did I have? I think I wore on one of the videos something that I got from one of the charity shops, which was a more dearer item for jewelry. But it is all down to that. When I go out, I'm not wearing the same item of jewelry. I've only got like studs in right now. But you've seen my other earrings that I have, which are normally longer, brighter. So yeah, if I change how many earrings, if I've got a number of earrings, then I can change. If I have another number of necklaces, I can wear different ones. Same with bracelets. So therefore, I don't look like the same every time I go out. I'm not going out in the same dress with exactly the same things on, because that will make me stand out, because why have I not got more than one dress and one piece of jewelry? So I've got quite a lot of jewelry now, but it's been got over time. It was like I would have a parcel ordered, wait 3 days, order something else, and I would only ever have 2 parcels in transit coming. So I wouldn't order anything else until the first parcel came, and then I would order another parcel of stuff. But I would have a look, and then I would always see stuff. When was it? It was sometime this year. I actually ordered 6 dresses, but they were on a they were all on discount, and they were all more expensive dresses. And I think I took all 6 dresses, and I think I wore them all during 1 week. So you'll see. I think you'll see these 6 dresses. You won't know that they are, but they are. Wow. It's very hard now to do any charity shop haul, because I'm lucky if I buy one item. Selection of items now is harder because more of the charity shops are hiking the prices up. So there isn't many items I can get. Actually, I took my skirt, which I showed you on the last one, which I got, which was sort of a satiny one. But I have to have at least 20 skirts. So there's things that I now don't need. I don't need any more boots. These were really quite cheap, and they're proper. You see the tread on them. They're proper, really good, decent ones for the wet. They need some insoles in, I realize. But them were like £3. I have one boot of another thing that I got in a charity shop. I bought these in a charity shop. There's only one of them, but there is another one. So I bought these in a charity shop. I was very worried on how much these would be, but they're proper solid bottoms. So yeah, I was surprised. I actually bought these boots in Castle Douglas, and it was a charity shop that I had not been in before, because it had been somewhere else, and they reopened it, and I'd seen the boots, and I seen they were my size, and I'm going, they're going to be so expensive, after the charity shops I'd been in and seen some boots, and they were all 15 and 20 quid. So I said, how much? I said, yeah, you've priced a lot of stuff except the shoes. I said, like, how much are the boots? And she turned around and said, they're £3. So ups there, they were mine, So I will only look for stuff which is fairly cheap. What was the last thing I bought? I did buy a new bag, only because I wanted a certain type of bag of a certain color. So now I'm more selective, and I'm filling in gaps of things in clothing wise that I'm going, I really could do with that. Or I think on one video I said I really should have a certain color bra for what I had on, and I don't have it. So I will therefore then look for that item. So yeah, charity shop stuff is hard, but a great deal of my dresses were from charity shops when they were £1, and you know, anything that looks new and thingy is from Temu. I haven't bought from Shein or any of them. So we've only got 6 people watching. So is there any more questions, or I will go off and go and get my tea, since I haven't had anything since 11 o'clock. But yep, I will be back on next Sunday at 5. I don't see any reason why I shouldn't be. But then if I do miss a Sunday, just go to the next Sunday, the Sunday after, and I would probably most likely be back then. If there's any reason I can't. But yeah, I will try to do a Sunday at 5 o'clock, because that's sort of a decent time, especially when winter comes. Yeah, start thinking about your questions that you would like to ask. If there's anything you want to ask, then bring it with you the next time. Make a list. But yeah, you have to be careful in charity shops. You just have to look for whatever. Go straight to the reduced rail, and don't forget, charity shops don't take long to look in, because 90% of the stuff in the shop is not your size. So there's no point looking at the stuff that isn't going to fit you anyway. No matter how nice it might look, it will not fit you. So just save your time and move on to the next. So yes, we're down to 5 people. Would the 5 people like to identify themselves or ask a question? Because if not, then I am going to go off now, and we'll be back on next Sunday. You have 2 videos this week, which are already scheduled to be put up. If it doesn't turn up tomorrow, it will turn up on Tuesday. And the next one is either going to be Thursday or Friday, because I try not to hit weekends with videos, unless I have to. So, yeah, you have 2 videos for this week. I can't remember what they're about, and I'm not going to spoil it for you. So, as we're down to only a couple of people, and time is getting on, thank you for watching. And anyone who's watching this after the event, you know where to find me. If you're not already subscribed, hit the bell, and I think you might get told when I go live or put up a video. So yep, you after here, go and have a look and see what video number I'm currently on, and that you now know there's 170 video has gone up. So it's all there. So maybe next week when I come on, I might tell you there's an even bigger number up there. So yep, with that, thank you for watching. Please come if you haven't been on this stream and you're watching this after it, and I'm mad as a hatter. Yes, I totally am. So come and watch me. Ask any questions you like, and I will see you next week for another live. Until then, all take care and don't spend too much money. Bye for now.